I see them blue for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
You know what?
I used to.
I want to play that again because it's such a nice song.
I love that
I
song.
see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Well, I want to say hello to everybody. This is the Psychic Spectrum Radio Show. This is season 14, episode probably in the 20s. I don't know, about 30s. And we're here. It's Saturday, August, what is it, 13th?
13th.
And I'm Skip.
And I'm Sharon, the Princess of Chocolate and Sparkles, and it's a beautiful, cool, nice day outside to sit.
That's right.
You can smell the rain.
Yep.
You know that it rained and it's cooled everything down, and I love that type of weather. I
And
really do.
we've got a topic today that is going to really make you think.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a good topic, and we'll get to that in a minute. But you guys are going to like this. But we got to say hi to some people. So
Well, we do, but also it's a 9 days. So
what's a 9?
well, this is a endings and beginnings. You know, it's like this is what I call a cleanup day.
Oh,
So it's good to get rid of, clean out your closets, clean out what you're thinking about, just clean up stuff and things that you just don't need anymore and let them go. So you can have brand new beginnings coming in.
okay.
Yeah. But to the north, south, east, and west, hello to all our peeps. Johnny Dollar in New York, John in Tacoma. Hope he's feeling better. Harold in Pennsylvania, and Jen and Vicky in Hawaii, and Ann and Derek. And my gosh, I can't think of all the others. Debbie, Cynthia.
Well,
RJ Rice is on. Okay, haven't heard from him.
let me get my
Hello,
binocular.
Patty.
Get my binocular on. I got Crystal in Eastern Washington. We've got Jeannie, Patty, RJ in the UK, Allison, Debbie, Cynthia, and JM in Yakima. Yay.
I hope it's cooler in Yakima today.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know when it's cool here. Is it hot there? I can't remember how that thing goes, but I hope Georgia girls in a cool area.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have air conditioning. I'm hoping.
It was raining this morning here.
Yeah. Oh, I love the smell of rain. There's nothing like it.
Yep.
I love the smell of rain.
It's the ions in the air.
Is that what
you're
it is?
Smelling? Yeah.
Oh.
But today, like I said
ions.
earlier, I've got a good topic for us. We're going to talk about, and it's not into religion, but it's about the Bible. And everybody knows there's things that are said in the Bible that are contradictory to other things that are said in the Bible. And
as it is with every other thing in life.
Sure. But this topic is designed to make you think. Okay.
Well, that's what the Bible's all about too. You just don't take it for granted. You think.
I know, but our topic is not to knock the Bible or discredit it in any way. It's to make you think, and maybe somebody knows some answers out there, so we can find out.
Well, if people like who's the guy that did the gravity thing? But the apple fell to the ground. Newton. Yeah.
Fig.
I mean,
Fig Newton.
If it wasn't for people like him that thought, I mean, you wouldn't have what you have today.
Yep.
It's thinkers of this world that get us moving.
That's right. But the topic is unanswered questions in the Bible.
Well, that's going to be your topic.
It's good. It's very obvious, and it's kind of cool.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
Good.
Yeah.
So
JM says it's supposed to be under 100 today.
Oh, under 100.
See, it's warm over there.
It's cooling down. Under 100.
I remember those days because the Tri-Cities, it's not far from Yakima, and it's hot over there.
Yes.
I mean, when I can remember, I was about 10 years old. We lived in Kennewick, and I actually went out and fried an egg on the sidewalk.
I've heard people doing it.
I did. I went out. I said, "Oh, great!" So Mom gave me an egg. I went out and I did it. And by George, I didn't eat it, but I fried it. It didn't take long either.
All the way, it fried the yolk and everything was done.
Yeah, and it didn't take long.
You could, if you really wanted to, you could get a steel plate that was clean.
Yeah.
A
And
plate
cook your breakfast.
and cook your food, your breakfast and lunch on it.
Well, it gets hot enough, I tell you.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's why we live in Western Washington.
I'm so glad my mom and dad moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyhow,
but it is pretty over there. I mean, it's got its own beauty. It does.
Yeah.
It does.
So-
Columbia River and all that.
what's your affirmation for today?
Oh, you want that first?
I gotta make a sound bite because affirmation.
I got to turn the page for that one. Now this is a thinker.
Okay.
You can't keep getting mad at people for sucking the life out of you if you keep giving them the straw. Yeah, think about
That's a good one, actually.
it. It's true.
Right.
Play about
That's a good point. How many times have we encountered that kind of thing going on with people?
we all do. And that's why on a 9 day, it's time to take a look at everything, not just physical material things, but your relationships, people you're around, people that get around them and leave you and get exhausted because they did nothing but suck you dry. Help me with this, help me with that. It's nice to help people, but don't only be there when they need help. If they really love you, they're going to be there to help you as well as make you feel good. So it's just another way of looking at relationships.
Okay.
I just thought I'd throw that out.
All right. Well, I'm with you. So
Sure, you're right here next to me.
since we're on that, can we do the stone of the day?
We can, because it's on the same side of the page.
Okay. Same side of the page.
It's called beta quartz.
Beta quartz.
Yeah.
BETA quartz.
Yeah, it's a crystal. It's a clear whitish crystal.
Yeah.
It's a unique hexagon shaped crystal. Which crystal? It's kind of cool itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not made to look like that. It's just a natural hexagon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it helps interpret the meaning of dreams and visions of spirit. And you should keep it on you when you're divining for dowsing because it helps you decide the directional info and answers where to go. So when we look for your rings with your dowsing rods, we should go get some data quartz and put it in your pocket. It might help. Because he lost his rings. He put them somewhere so they wouldn't be found. And it's true, we haven't found them.
A wedding ring and my Super Bowl ring I got
Yep.
from my son.
But I'm sure they'll show up when it's time.
I'm gonna get on that soon.
You're going to get on that.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Right.
Well, I gotta say that it's time for a commercial.
Oh,
We gotta play this, so we're gonna talk about this in a day coming up in October, being that there's such serious changes coming to Social Security and Medicare insurance.
and we are old.
We are old.
Susan
but
Bergstrom is a licensed agent in Washington and Oregon, and she helps people who are readying for retirement or are already in retirement. Social Security is tough enough to deal with. Then there's Medicare, financial planning, and more. Take the burden out of the equations and let Susan Bergstrom sort it all out for you. Susan helps narrow down your choices to one that's suitable to your specific personal health and financial needs. This includes Advantage plans, supplements, and prescription drug plans. Part D. Seniors can rely on Susan to help obtain financial security through many programs and help protect seniors from market downturns. Susan also assists with long-term care, an area that many people do not plan for in retirement. Planning now can protect your assets and dignity in your later years. She's part of the Medicare Exchange, located in Tacoma and Linwood, and consultations are free. Call Susan Bergstrom now at 253-318-9379. That's 253-318-9379. Or email sbergstrom@americanseniorbenefits.com. Susan Bergstrom is a licensed agent in Washington and Oregon, and she helps people who are ready
guess
for retirement
I
or
shouldn't
are
let that
already
play twice, should I? Susan is a licensed agent in Washington State, anywhere in the state. So if you have somebody who lives in another area that needs to get her help, call her. She's awesome with the programs and the work that she does, and she's free.
And she might be able to, if you live in another state, because she only does Washington.
Mhm.
She might know somebody in another state.
Right. She can
That's
advise
with
you.
her
then.
company and
Yeah.
will help you.
So,
So are we having a connection problem with my mic?
Crystal and Jeannie or Patty had and Jeannie. I mean,
Well, it
they
says
had.
you were clear. Is my mic acting up?
I don't know. We'll see. But it's time for something, our little segment. Are you ready for that? Your little jokes of the week?
Why, you're going to do it now?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Why are you in such a hurry?
I'm not. We can not
Oh, I
do
don't
that.
care. I'll do it. I'll do it.
No,
I just
let's
wondered.
not.
You're
It's a
usually
good
right till
idea.
the end.
Let's not. Let
When
me.
you after you do some talking about your topic, you might want some
Good point.
lighter stuff.
Well, you think that's heavy? This is actually
It's a
going to be
thinker.
fun.
It's a thinker.
This is actually going to be a fun topic. You guys will like this. The topic I picked today is unanswered questions of the Bible. And it's not to get into religion. It's not to knock religion. It's not to knock the Bible or cast any doubts on it. There's legitimate questions. As we all know, there's things that contradict other things in the Bible. And you're going to get that when it's written from different points of view, from different persons at different times. So, but these are just unanswered questions that are in the Bible.
Well, isn't different proper term sex? Is that what it is? Like you got the Presbyterian, you got the Baptist. Isn't that because they read the Bible or interpret it different?
It's not sects. It's actual religions.
Religions, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not clear on
Catholic
that.
Bible is different from
I'm
the
spiritual
Baptist
people.
Bible. And
I didn't go to church
No, I know.
27/4
I know.
or 24/7. I didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And so we'll take your questions a little later on in the show, but I wanted to talk about this topic.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Now, in the Bible, there are two different stories of creation.
Really?
Yep. In Genesis 1, and you guys can write this down if you want. In Genesis 1, God creates male and female at the same time. But then in the very next chapter, Genesis 2, God created a woman from a man's rib.
Well, that doesn't mean he didn't create male and female at the same time. He just made one at a time.
No, that ain't the same time then.
Well, the energies were probably.
There are two creation stories. So it's not actually that, but even God himself is described as having two different names, Elohim in the first account and Yahweh in the second account. Now that can be depending on the religion, or not the religion, the language, the languages.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility. Okay. And it says there are two creation stories. Metaphorical interpretations aside, there are indeed two different versions of the creation story. It says, sure, these may have been an editorial mistake when putting the Bible together, but still, which story should we trust and why?
Well, if that was a mistake, wouldn't you think over the centuries they would have corrected it? Somebody had to have seen it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, maybe you're just not reading it quite right. Or seeing it in the way it was intended.
Read it by what it says. These are actual things this isn't mine. I didn't make this up. This is things that scholars have written down. It says, okay, and it says, the question here is, next one is, who were the sons of God? All right. Genesis 6:2 says that the sons of God saw the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. So who were these sons of God after all? Okay, let me go back to that. The sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they were married, and they married any of them they chose. See, when I read that, my mind says, okay, sons of God, angels, fallen angels, okay, that came the Nephilim and that kind of thing. But at the same time, I give possibility that were these aliens and their leader was called Yahweh or God or whatever you want to call it. But here's what here's
I think that's stretching it.
It's stretching it, I know, but that's theories out there.
It is. There's theories.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I'll go with you on that.
But they wrote further. It says, "Who are the sons of God?" There are various interpretations of who the sons of God were. Some theories point to fallen angels, while others say they might be the descendants of Seth, one of Adam and Eve's children. And it says the Bible, however, doesn't really tell us who they were. So for sure. So we don't know.
I think we need to talk to a scholar.
Well, I'd like to talk to a Jesuit priest about this, and
well, that might be fun.
They would
I'm sure
be
he'd
more
able
likely to know.
I'm sure he could understand it and tell us
Sure.
exactly what, because he studied it.
Right. But
But that is an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah. And these are just, I'm not, like I say, we're not knocking, denigrating, or doing anything against religion or church.
No,
these are just questions that are posed by scholars I compiled the list of all these things.
What is a fallen angel? That's not necessarily bad, is it?
Well,
I mean, because in my mind, it's
short. Yes, it's bad. It's short terms.
So you're saying the bad ones came down to earth and married humans?
Short term answer, quick answer is it's angels that Lucifer decided he wanted to be God himself, like God.
Oh, so
and
it's those people.
God said, goodbye, you're out of heaven.
Okay.
Threw them out of heaven. They came down to earth and married with humans.
Well, that explains a lot.
But even that is questionable. Okay. All right. So here, speaking of Lucifer, here's the next question. Who is Lucifer? And it says he's Satan, right? There's more to it than that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
He was a fallen angel first.
And actually, in Isaiah 14:12-17, it mentions the story of Lucifer. It says, however, you won't find any connection to Satan or the devil, just that he's a fallen angel who was cast down to earth by God for wanting to be above God. And it says, but then in Luke 10:18-20, mentions Satan falling like lightning from heaven. Satan. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, it seems like Lucifer and Satan fell down from heaven, but are they the same? It is possible that the connection between the two is made after the Bible was written. And it says, so who is Lucifer after all? Some theories point that the hypothesis that Lucifer was a reference to a Babylonian ruler even. Another theory says that Lucifer was simply the Latin word for morning star. But the truth is that no one knows for sure.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Yeah. So
either way, I don't like them.
We are taught in the Christian world, we are taught from little up, devil, Satan, Lucifer, they're all the same.
They're all the same. That's true. We have been taught that.
But the Bible contradicts some of these things and doesn't even answer their own contradictions.
But you got to remember, the Bible was interpreted. It was interpreted by somebody that read
many times. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So how do we know that's even accurate?
Because they are. You can read different versions of the Bible if you can have access to them, which they are online, by the way.
They're online.
But this is
interesting
questions.
Well, so things to ponder.
Okay, so remember when Jesus disappeared for all those lost years?
Yes.
Where did he go? What did he do? And that kind of thing. There's lots of speculation, and it says what happened during the lost years of Jesus.
Do they really know?
Well, let me answer that by reading this. Not much is documented in the Bible about Jesus' so-called lost years.
Yeah.
So what was Jesus up to between the ages of 12 and 30? Okay, so those 18 years he was gone.
And wasn't he crucified at 33? I think he was.
No.
No?
I think it was 32. I can't remember.
I think it's 33.
So what happened during the lost years of Jesus? Some theories say Jesus stayed in Nazareth, while others say he went to study elsewhere.
That's what I always heard.
Well, locations range from Alexandria in Egypt to India. So what happened during the lost years of Jesus? It is possible that Jesus studied with the Jewish mystic group, the Essenes, or that he traveled as far as Britain with his uncle Joseph of Arimathea, who was a tin trader. And the truth is that there is no solid evidence of any of these hypotheses. Now, I can answer that with one more thing. There is a series of books. It's 6 little books written. It's in a pack. You buy the pack. It's called The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East.
Yes.
And it's an account of a group of people in the late 1800s that decided to go over to Jesus' birthplace, Israel, and follow the path that he supposedly went on. And they rediscovered this path.
Yeah, but how if there's no solid evidence
in the Bible?
Oh, so how did they know it?
The books
I have
were written by
questions.
these people who did the trek.
Yes.
They talked to people, locals and old people and records and things like that. And they eventually ended up at a temple. It took a long time in various different countries and places. They ended up at a temple in a Buddhist temple, okay? And they have cast in like a facial impression of all these religious leaders, spiritual masters, and they all look like Asian Buddhists, except this one guy in there looks like a bearded Caucasian, Jewish, whatever person. And these are cast in bronze, and they're on the walls around the temple. And it's kind of interesting because they know who he was. They say he was Jesus. The people, they meaning the people that were at the run the temple there, but
don't
he came to study there.
Don't they know why they made the cast in bronze or whatever you said?
Because he was one of their masters, and so they put him on the wall. So anyhow, this book is actually really good, but they document this trek that they went and where the places that Jesus visited and where he went to, who he studied with, what he learned.
Well, it lost 18 years. I mean, back in those times, it was slow going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I could see where no matter where you went, it would take 18 years to get there and back.
Mm-hmm. Plus study and learn.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Okay, so here's a question. Adam and Eve, first two people, supposedly, right? There's accounts. This is separate. There's accounts that Jesus or God gave Adam another wife first, Lilith. But then there's accounts that that's fiction. So who knows? But Adam and Eve, okay, it says, how did humanity multiply? Inbreeding? Okay, but it says, I've heard people say, well, yeah, God allowed that so that they could multiply. And then later on, inbreeding came back in to where the people would suffer serious physical things. But this says, okay, so Adam and Eve were cast out of the Garden of Eden and went on to have babies.
Yeah.
But then for humans to multiply, they had to intermarry, right?
It makes sense, but I don't know if that's
what says,
happened.
After all, there were no other humans around. They're not mentioned in the Bible.
Well, that doesn't mean they weren't around.
But they're not mentioned. And
True.
they never had kids until they were cast out, and then they had kids.
It's a freaking apple.
So did the kids intermarry? Or did Adam and Eve intermarry or intermix with their kids? But here it says, how did humanity multiply? Not only does it sound wrong, but scientifically speaking, this wouldn't have worked out. We need genetic diversity to thrive as as healthy humans.
Mm-hmm.
So what gives? And one theory says that God either prevented genetic disorders that would likely happen from incestuous relationships, or that indeed he created more than two humans.
Or there was people here already. Like,
I'm not saying yes or no.
I know.
Now, see, Wendy had a question. She said, is it possible governments and religions have suppressed evidence of Jesus' lost years because the truth would eliminate their control? Absolutely.
There's totally books, possible.
There's books that have been removed from the Bible that are in the Vatican.
Yeah.
And so who knows what they all say? So, okay.
People in the Vatican know.
I know. Next question. Some of them. Next question. Where is Noah's Ark? All right.
I lay awake at night thinking of that.
I do too. I actually have.
I have too.
It is true that the Great Flood might have happened. Okay. Though not on a global scale as the Bible mentions. And see, I don't know if I believe that it's not on a global scale. It could be, but there's not proof of it in other parts of the world. In other words, they can tell by the sediment and the layers and all these different things
Well,
and
what
the
about
growth.
all that stuff in the Grand Canyon, the sediments and layers?
That's not from the Great Flood. Not it didn't happen at the same time.
Oh,
So where is
shows what
Noah's
I know.
Ark? Over the years, numerous theories have emerged, and evidence has been found, though none was robust enough or indeed conclusive.
Hmm.
So it says one example includes the wooden fragments discovered on Turkey's Mount Ararat.
Mhm.
Being made of wood, it's possible that if the ark ever existed, that which is in question, it rotted and disappeared over the years.
Well, I would think wood,
Wood?
unless it was frozen.
Would it?
Yeah.
Wood? Wow.
Well, that's why we don't have any unicorns to this day.
That's right. They didn't make it on the
Well, they did.
boat.
Yeah, they sat on the rock there and saw the boat flying away, and one said to the other, "Was that today?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody's heard of Methuselah, right?
Yes.
Okay. Elijah and Enoch. What happened to Enoch and Elijah? The Bible says that Enoch, the
Wait a minute.
father.
What happened to Medusa? Wait, why are you going to Elijah? Who's?
You know, I was 4 or 5 words away from that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What happened to Enoch and Elijah? The Bible says that Enoch, the father of 969-year-old Methuselah, one of the two witnesses, it says in quotes, walked faithfully with God.
Yeah.
Then he was no more because God took him away.
Who?
Let me finish. It says, but what does that mean? Did he die? Did he join God in heaven? Did he just go to heaven? So what happened to Enoch and Elijah, according to Kings 2:1, Elijah, the other witness who was a prophet, went up by a whirlwind into heaven in a chariot of fire. If indeed this was a deception of his death,
Description
of his death, why did he ascend to heaven? He was a man after all. He didn't die and go to heaven. He ascended or taken into a chariot of fire.
Well, Jesus was a human.
Well, sure.
And he ascended
after death.
Oh, good point. Well, going back to Medusa, what's her name? Medusa.
Methuselah.
Thank you. I never can say. Why couldn't they have had normal names like John and Sally? And anyway, I don't get that, But she had snakes for hair, right?
Supposedly.
Supposedly. Now, if she did, that couldn't have been anybody that mated with a human, right?
Well, we would think so.
That rests my case.
But the whole point here, what happened to Enoch and Elijah? They were swept up into heaven.
Both of them?
Yes. Enoch was the father of Methuselah, okay? But
yeah,
of
but
the two,
what's his name there got?
Of the two, Elijah or Enoch walked faithfully with God, then he was no more because God took him away.
Got it. Okay.
And then Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven in a chariot of fire. So, who knows? Questions of the Bible, unanswered questions of the Bible.
Well, that does make this would be good to come back with a
answer
chapter 2 after we talk to someone.
Oh yeah,
and see if we have the answers. We can then answer the questions.
Maybe I'll send them to him in an email and have that person answer them for me.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
It's a friend of ours who's very scholarly. I
love conversations like that anyway.
Yeah.
But think about it. There was John the Baptist and King John or whatever. They had normal names back then. Why did they have to come up with all those crazy ones?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that.
Now, here's something. Wendy made a comment. She says, read Graham Hancock about evidence of worldwide flood caused possibly by a direct hit on Earth from a comet or asteroid. I have read part of that stuff. However, I want to say this. How could God supposedly say, Noah, build an ark. These are the dimensions and do this, get all the animals, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm going to do this when it's completed. So Noah worked his butt off. He built this ark. Whoever told him this was either God, okay,
Or a
or
higher source.
they knew of when the asteroid was going to hit and gave him a date to finish it by, which is why he worked his butt off.
Or maybe when it was finished, he just made the asteroid hit. But that, I bet you that's when the dinosaurs were anymore.
No, that was before. Your imagination, boy. I'll send you to Catholic school. They'll teach you different. But
Okay.
anyhow, there's a whole bunch of unanswered
I
questions.
don't think like you people.
There's unanswered questions about everything in history. This is just one little topic of unanswered
Well, you know
questions
what
of the
always got
Bible.
me? I mean, I can't think Noah went and got all those species, because some are only in Japan, some are only in Australia. I mean, they're in different parts of the world. How could he go there,
He
get two
didn't.
samples, and
He didn't, because remember, there's no proof of a great flood in some other areas of the world.
then how did he get a male and a female of every species?
Where he was.
I got you. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a whole bunch of unanswered questions. And it's the easy
Well, you
part
know
of
what they
it.
say, thank God for unanswered prayers.
Yeah,
Yep. You may not want to know.
that's true. But that's my topic for today. And I just wanted to make people think a little bit.
I love to make people think.
And
I love to think.
it-
It's fascinating.
like I said, I want to make it clear we're not knocking religion or churches, Bible, anything. There's discrepancies in everything in life, from science to religion to math, even has some discrepancies.
Yeah.
But it's just that these are unanswered questions. So don't, and the biggest part is just to make you aware, but also don't get locked into, nope, Bible says this. And it's just a rewritten in different languages, different hands, different sects, or I mean religions, beliefs, but just take it as a guide for
It's a definite
life.
guide.
And it's a spiritual nature that it's trying to convey. Unfortunately, religion got in the way of it and convoluted some of it.
And
But
you know, there were stories taken out. There was chapters burned. I mean, we
Sure.
don't know what the original looked like.
and I could
And
say
that's okay. It might be that we don't want to know.
I could say the word sword in English. In Spanish, it said something else that means a
Yeah.
little different.
Yeah.
And then that could have been translated into Yiddish, which could have been translated and meant something just a hair different, into some other language, Chinese, and then into Russian. And it's like, who knows what the real actual words were? But
Well,
it's
you
a
don't,
guide.
But it's a guide. And
Yes.
it's definitely one that teaches you to live and follow the morals of
And it's not
do unto others that you have them do unto you.
it's not the only spiritual book out there. And it's not the only historical account of those times. It's one of them.
But you know what
Okay.
it boils down to?
What it deals down to?
I got 21. No, no matter what the books out there,
Hmm.
it all boils down to faith.
Right.
You either have faith or you don't.
Right.
I don't have to, this is just my own opinion. I don't have to understand the Bible or any other metaphysical thing or spiritual thing going on. If I believe and I have the faith, that's all I need.
That's right.
So you don't have to be what do you call those people that are really smart people?
Scholar.
Scholars. Yeah, thank you. You don't have to be a scholar, and you don't have to know even how to read. You just believe.
We believe in religion. I mean, back up. We believe in God.
Mhm.
We believe in spirituality, and that's what Jesus preached. He didn't teach religion. He taught Buddhists. Buddha the same thing.
I think the
Wait a
two
minute.
of them.
Buddha and Jesus taught spirituality,
Yeah.
not religion.
You're right.
And we believe in those two things. And yes, we believe in the Bible, the theme of the Bible, but not the word for word. And this is what it means. And the biggest thing in my life is that why I grew up with this is, why should I fear God? Why would you make somebody just to make them fear you? And there's no reason, because I don't fear God. I don't think I've ever been punished because I don't fear him. But anyhow, Another topic, another day. Wendy said, great topic. I love it. What were you going to say?
Well, I don't remember.
Oh, but Wendy says, great topic. I love it. That's good. Thanks. We got more.
Some of it's controversial, some of it isn't. I mean, but it's nothing more than just something to make you think. It's not the last word on anything. It's not, just think about it.
Yeah.
And make your own decision.
True.
That's what it's all about.
Jeannie says there was only the thing written in stone, and that was. It's question mark. Yeah.
That was bring Sharon chocolate every
Yeah.
Wednesday. That's what that was.
No, she's got a good point. That was the 10 Commandments.
Mm.
But is there any proof that actually happened?
I don't know. Did anybody ever find any of those tablets? I don't know.
No, there's no proof of anything really like that in the Bible.
Oh, yeah. What do you mean?
There's no proof.
They got the story.
Okay.
Well, where'd the story come
I
from?
flew an airplane into 9,000 feet through the clouds and jumped out with a parachute. There's a story. Is there any proof? I could write that down. Is there any proof?
Considering how you're afraid of heights and you're still here, I don't think you did that at all.
Never know. There's no proof. See my point? But it's time for your jokes.
No, there used to be 30 tablets. Not the 10 Commandments. There was 30.
Really?
Yeah. But coming down the mountain, he dropped several.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They broke.
It's time. It's time. Sharon's joke of the week.
Well, hit us with it. Wait. We got to have, here it is. Okay, for Sharon's joke of the week.
Well, someone had texted me and wanted me to play this one again. So I'm saying it. I know I've said it, but I'm going to say it again.
All right.
Okay. How bad is the economy? You want to know how bad it is?
I don't know. How bad is the economy?
The economy is so bad. ExxonMobil laid off 25 congressmen. Angelina Jolie adopted a child from America. That's how bad the economy is. Hold it down. I'm not done. Motel 6 won't even leave the light on anymore. That's how bad the economy is.
Uh-huh.
And a picture is now only worth 200 words. Get it? Get out of here.
Yay.
And Wall Street. Wall Street has been renamed Walmart Street. Think about it. And finally, I called a suicide hotline.
That?
Yeah, no. Oh, get out of here. I called a suicide hotline today, and I got a call center in Pakistan, and when I told them I was suicidal, they got all excited and asked if I could drive a truck. Now, this is just an FYI.
Uh-huh.
Okay, because I think people should know this with school starting and stuff. The company that produces yardsticks won't be making them any longer.
Why?
Think about it.
Say it again. I don't get it.
The company that produces yardsticks won't be making them any longer. Yardsticks. I want you to know I always have an ace at my feet.
Is this your last one?
I always have an ace at my feet. And wait a minute, that's the topic. Oh my Lord, how does she do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Badly.
Jeannie has a question. She said, was any of us there time traveling?
Oh, that's a good question.
People say they were, but is there any proof that they were? She gave a laughter on your crying laughter on a joke, but there's another one that got the thumbs down.
She loves me.
Yeah.
You owe me chocolate for that thumbs down, Jeannie. But the whole thing is, you would think somebody who time traveled, because I don't know if we can do it yet, but I think in the future. I think we'll be time traveling, but what do I know? You know, there could be time travel already. I mean, I'm not a guru that knows everything.
I don't think it'll happen in any of our lifetimes.
You never, I mean, maybe it already has. You remember the Philadelphia experiment? Think about that one. But now there, you should read that if you haven't or see the movie. That's quite a thing. But you thought if somebody had done that they would have brought something back from that time period.
True.
You know, but I haven't heard of anything yet. But you know,
well, you just never know.
But you don't know until you do know. So until we can find, I mean, there's people that say I'm a time traveler and they come back and tell us what's going to happen. A lot of them doesn't happen. So what's that say?
Yeah.
But I mean, if we could get a legit time traveler that could accurately tell us something is going to be happening in the future for us, in the past for them, that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. It would.
That would. Yeah. But see, it's all back to, do you believe or not believe?
Yeah.
I'd rather believe and be wrong than not believe and be right.
True. I got to tell you that next Tuesday, our radio show, we have our man on the streets, Matt Shea, and he's going to talk about another place in Washington that's haunted, the proof of it, that kind of thing.
And we were going to go somewhere tomorrow, and then you don't feel like it, so
we're canceling
that till later. But
we're going to visit somewhere.
We were going to go visit a haunted restaurant type area, but Skip's he says he's not up to it. So, but we'll be doing it soon, just not this weekend. So we'll let you know about that. Would you believe them if they told you about the future? Well, that's a good question. But see, I would only believe them if they could tell me something that was going to happen and it happened. Not something that has happened, because we all know that. I want to know something that's going to happen, and the date and time and day, all that stuff, and then watch for it. And if it happens, I might say, okay, maybe, but they'd have to prove it more than once.
We've actually had people come to us who said, I'm a time traveler. I've traveled in time. And we're like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to listen.
Tell us what's going to happen and give us a specific date and item. And a couple of people have said some things that were kind of in general, but kind of specific. Nothing happened. So I don't believe that there's anybody here or around here that has time traveled.
I don't. I'm not going to make that statement. I don't know everybody that's here and around here. All I know is nobody that can do that, if they can, has come to me and proven it to me to where I actually will say, okay, I believe you.
Which is why I say I don't believe it.
Well, that doesn't mean it won't happen. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
I do believe there are multiple timelines.
Yep. Crystal asked about that. There are multiple timelines. I believe that those called parallel worlds. What's their other term for that?
Universe.
Another universe. Yeah.
You remember the show Sliders?
Yep.
That's where they went from one timeline to another.
Right.
And you existed in all of them, but you were different in all of them.
Even Einstein said that it's what do you say? A possibility is quite real that there are other universes or other timelines, other dimensions. That's what it is.
Dimensions. That's what it was. Yeah. And, so, until I can be proven, no, there's not, I'm not going to say no to it. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say, yeah, you're right. I'm just going to say it. Yeah, it's possible.
Okay, I'm going to do this.
Oh, my Lord. What are you going to do?
I have time traveled.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have. No, I can prove it. I am going to tell you what's going to happen next week. At 1:00, there will be another Psychic Spectrum radio show.
Yeah.
See?
And who's going to be on it?
You and me and Matt.
And what am I wearing?
A red shirt.
Wrong. I won't wear it now. Just because you said it.
Yeah. All right. So I got a question here from Wendy.
Okay.
She's waited.
Bless her heart.
She says, my daughter Sydney has relocated her work. She feels as though she isn't welcome, distant with distant vibes. Can you see what the issue is? That's a common problem with people who do remote work. They lose the culture, the office culture or the work culture.
Yeah, but that even happened back before COVID.
And she's talking about relocated her work, feels as though she isn't welcome, distant vibes.
I know,
And
but even when you go from one job to another, you can get that feeling.
okay, let me finish what I'm trying to
Oh,
say.
heaven forbid me not let you.
It's common for remote workers, okay? And it's common also for people who report in the office, and that sometimes people can get cut out, or they have a different whatever that they're working on type thing, and there's people can be just cut out. And so it's common, and I got to say that because of the change is I think what triggered it. And it's real for her, it's not real, but I think it's coming from up here. What do you think?
I think it depends what that group of people she went into, what they're like. Have they formed a clique? Are they made up of people like Tauruses that just do not like change, and so they fight it? Is there
It's
someone?
up here.
I mean, there's some people that may have thought that so and so should have got that job, and she got it instead. I mean, there's so many different issues. It's nothing to do with Sydney.
Hmm.
Sydney may feel it, but it's nothing to do with her. It's about
No,
the other people around her
that's
that
right.
are adjusting. And so I would go in with confidence and to do my job the best of my ability. And who says you got to be friends with them?
Hmm.
Now, when I was younger, I thought I had to, whereas she probably is. But now I would go in, do my job, and they would come to me. I wouldn't go to them.
And all of what you described is actually part of when someone, like, let's say we all have a little workplace and there's 20 of us,
Mhm.
and someone new comes in.
Mhm.
The new person needs to kind of prove themselves. um are they a fair-haired child that's going to get promoted over us? Is
Well,
that why
see,
they brought him in?
but see, that's where my young thinking went. I have to prove myself.
No,
Now I would say, I don't got to prove
you
myself. I
don't
know
have to
exactly
prove
what I can
yourself.
do and how good I can do it.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the other people at that
Yes.
workplace feel that she has to prove herself, and she has to prove that she's going to be part of the group, because they could have a butthole boss and they're all thinking, well, she's going to come in and screw this up for us and kiss up to him or her and change it for us. But so there's
yeah.
a lot of protectiveness there.
And that's so true. When a new person comes in, what's the first thing that you think? They're going to be better than me. They're going to take the job I did.
Yeah.
It's like, and so it's a rough time in that first getting to know
Yeah.
each other and trusting each other. It's just trust. And so give them time. Give them time. Don't push it. Don't back away from it. Just be yourself, do your job. And I'd let them come to me. I wouldn't try going to them. And if they say if you look standoffish, excuse me, if you look standoffish, I'd say, no, I'm just here doing my job. And if you want to come and talk, I'll talk.
Yeah. Now, question was speaking back of multiple timelines.
Uh-huh.
Crystal said, what do you believe about multiple timelines? Well, timelines, multiple dimensions, multiple universes, they're all kind of the same thing, but there's some differences if you want to get down to specifics. But like we said earlier, I believe it. Did you say you believe in that?
Yes, I do.
We both believe it exists.
No, I believe the possibility of it exists.
Okay, I believe it exists. And Einstein said it exists. And
No,
the man has been yet to be proven wrong.
I was going to say he was pretty smart.
Things.
But there again, I'd like to see proof of it.
Right. But can people jump between timelines? I'm going to say maybe. I would think about that, because the reason is this. I've heard stories through growing up in all my years of one of them was a guy out mowing his lawn, and he's walking along pushing the lawnmower, and his wife and kids were playing on the porch. This was early 60s when I heard this. He disappeared. They watched him just pop. He's gone. But the mower kept moving, and he was not there. And the mower stopped and sat there and ran, and they never saw him again. So where did he go?
There are many stories like that.
Yeah.
What about that married couple in the 40s that all of a sudden appeared after being gone for 30 years or whatever?
Right. Well, there's an airplane that actually just did that, and the
Yeah.
government took them and locked them up.
Yeah. Yeah,
They sequestered them, or
I mean, so and where did they go? Did that mean they went to another timeline? Did they just go into another dimension?
Mhm.
Who knows? You don't know. That's the mysteries of life, I guess.
Yeah,
But I think it's totally. I don't see why it couldn't be possible.
no.
You
Jeannie
know?
says Sliders. I missed that
Yeah,
show.
I do too. I like that
You
show.
can go find it. It's in the whatever you have. If you stream TV or you have Comcast or whatever, you can find those shows. It's called Sliders, and they would slide from one time zone into another, not time zone,
Timeline.
dimension or time
Yeah.
frame in timeline into another.
Yeah.
And the guy had to adapt real quick, and then he'd slide in and help people there, and then
Yeah.
slide into another one.
I think. I think too. Timelines can be your past lives. Timelines can be your future lives.
Well, we've heard people say it's past, present, and future is all happening at the same time.
Yes, exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's just another
And
version
that
of
just
timelines.
I don't think we can wrap our mind around that, but
No,
you know,
I
because
can't.
as humans, but maybe Einstein could. Maybe that's why he knows something we didn't know.
Sure.
But like when remember when you first started opening up and you would have dreams where this person would take you to India and whatever, it was dream night after night after night. That was going into a timeline, a
Yeah.
different time period. So yes, it's possible. I don't think it would not. I think anything is possible.
Sure.
But until we become scientifically knowledgeable to how to make those things happen, I don't see it in my lifetime, but it doesn't mean in the future they won't do it.
And Josie said, do your dreams take you to different timelines?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah, I think they can.
I think
Yeah.
I think you can get a glimpse of them, but I don't think that you're in the timeline.
If you are, you don't stay in it.
Right.
That's for sure. I wish I could remember this guy was like a scientist or something. I mean, at the time I read it, it was a true story. This is not a made up TV show, but he was in his bedroom and something woke him up and he turned and looked toward the wall of his bedroom and he could see himself in a laboratory, like a opening, like a dream opening.
Mm-hmm.
And he could see himself in the laboratory working on something. He didn't know what the heck it was, but there again, I think the timelines got too close or crossed over or something, and he saw himself in another life.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I totally believe it can happen. Do I want it to happen to me? I don't know. I'm such a chicken. I don't know.
I'd be interested.
I'm a chicken. Because my thing would be if I do go or whatever, would I come back? I don't want
Would you want to?
Yeah, because I've got things here I love.
You might find things better over there or worse.
Well, if I can find the ones I love over there, that'd be different. And we still love each other. But see,
I always
there's so
thought
many-
I always thought if I went there and visited another timeline, I'd end up in a caveman days and I'd be fighting dinosaurs with a club.
There you go.
And it's like, nope, I'm going to try
Well,
it.
see, that's why like the on the shows where they have these portals and you go through
Yeah.
them. I ain't going through that sucker
No.
unless I know I'm going somewhere that's better than where I am. I ain't going back to fighting giant ants and
Jeannie says she found
Dinosaurs.
Sliders on YouTube.
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
But the only thing good about it was, I mean, I don't remember the exact everything about it, but they had like a time they had to be at a certain spot for the next portal.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. That would be stressful to me.
It would.
But they kept going from dimension to dimension trying to get home. They were lost. So I wouldn't want that.
No.
No, I'm perfectly happy where I am, but I'd love to meet somebody who does it
Okay.
for real.
We've ran our gamut for today.
Oh, darn.
But I want to remind everybody, go to psychicspectrum.com and check out our website. All of our events are listed there. You guys can go there and find about the events and the times that we do them and where and how you can be a part of it.
Yeah.
Everything is online and live in person,
And
except for one event per month. And you
That's
can
not
join
really
us
on site.
online, and it's all geared around. We always have a topic and a speaker, and we learn about things.
also, tonight is our monthly showcase dinner. So the ones that are in the area, they can meet us at Applebee's on South Hill and Puyallup.
Yep.
At see what's going on there. We're going to be there around between 4:30 and 5.
Yeah. So
And,
Crystal and JM, you got time to drive there.
And then on the 27th is our UFO Sasquatch Watch. So if you're interested in that, go to the website.
That is a fun. That's
and
good.
do the contact page and let us know you want to go.
That's a good event.
free.
That's a good evening. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. But we've already got people signing up
We
and
do.
joining, and it's growing. And we're going to have a good crowd.
Well, yeah, we always do.
Yeah.
But we're going to meet at the Natchez Tavern in Greenwater, and so we like to let them know how many people are coming because they cook for however many people they think they're going to have that night. So it's good to give them a heads up.
Yep. So anyhow, I think we're going to call it a day.
A day.
A day.
A day. Well, it's been almost an hour. Yeah.
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 And
I don't see any more questions. I don't think we missed any.
uh-uh.
Also, Mr. Tom Jones, if you're listening, give me a call.
Okay.
Just thought I'd throw that in.
And I think to myself,
The theme song. No, we're on the way out.
And like our
Check out
theme
our
song
website.
said, what a wonderful day.
That's right. Go to our website. All of our stuff is there. Thank you guys for joining in.
Love you all.
We'll see you next Tuesday at 1.
what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah.
My man. Satchmo. All right, you guys. Take care. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.